What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? First and foremost, press that like button. I'm not playing around no more. Press the damn like button. Press it. There you go. Was that so damn hard? No, it wasn't. Alright, so, it's Courageous Cody back with probably a short video. I wanted to make a video today, but I wasn't sure what to make a video about. But I have a lot of people curious on how I smoke. I smoke cigarillos. Unfortunately, I vaporize from time to time. And I'm also a big, well, not big anymore, but I'm a cannabis user. I believe in medical cannabis. I also believe in the fact that if you want to get high as an adult, you should be able to do it. If you can buy cigarettes and buy alcohol completely legally, you should be able to smoke weed, you know? Never once have I smoked a joint and passed out my buddy's driveway and pissed on myself. I admittedly have done that drunk, but I've never done it high on cannabis. Now, it affects everyone differently. Some people, it literally makes them feel like they're dying. Especially people with schizophrenia or like psychosis problems. It can either make or break it. So, how do I smoke? First off, let's get into cigarettes. Cigars, cigarillos. What I do is I feel for the end of the cigarillo or the cigar, right? And I hold the lighter about an inch from it, and I light it. I'm constantly flicking the damn thing because I don't know when it needs to be flicked, but that's how I light my cigars. And you can tell by the taste and by feel when you're getting down to the end of the cigar. And that's basically it. As for cannabis, I don't roll joints. I use a pipe or a bong. I could never roll a joint even when I could see, so I like bongs better because it takes less to do the job, you know? Like, if I'm smoking joints, it's joint after joint after joint until my weed's gone. Bong rips, I can take one hit and be good for a couple hours. If I want to smoke a joint, I just get a friend to roll it for me. As for vaping, I have not really figured out how to vape. I burn out my coils a lot, but I think that's just due to the fact on how I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it like back to back, and it burns out the coil. Also, it's kind of hard to figure out when you're running low on juice, because if you run low on juice, your coil burns, and you're out $10. I'm kind of getting the hang of it, so what I do is I had somebody that could see help me, and I waited like 24 hours, and I realized that it takes 12 squirts to fill it, and I go through about, 12 squirts a day. So every 4 hours, I give it a good 4 sprays, because I go through about one spray or squirt an hour. And so every 4 hours, I give it 4 sprays, so it keeps it topped up. Yeah. Also, I'm going to make a side video here, because this video is kind of short. About the best edibles I've personally ever made as a blind person, right? So, what I did was I bought an ounce of weed. I think it was about 1.5 ounces, actually. I think it was Do-Si-Do, if I remember correctly, the strand. I got it really cheap, so I grinded up my weed. I grinded up probably another ounce of stems. And, I wouldn't recommend doing this, but I had some roach weed, stuff left in my pipe also, that I threw in there. I don't recommend this because it really makes it taste like garbage. But I grinded up everything, my 1.5 ounces of weed, my ounce of stems, and a couple grams of roach weed. And while I'm doing this, my crock pot is heating up. So, with I can't remember how many, about a pound of butter, half a pound of butter, a pound of butter. And I let it sit there on high for about 10 hours. And after that was done, I strained all my weed. I strained all the weed out because that's what you gotta do. And I made like these coconut macaroons, which called for quite a bit of margarine, right? And yeah, I made these coconut macaroons. As I'm making these, I had some distillate, which is cannabis oil that's been refined, basically. I had about 2 grams of that and a gram of RSO. So I put all that in milk, because the recipe called for milk. And I mix it all together, like the milk with the butter and everything. Basically, how you make your milk is you simmer your oil or your weed in milk, and all the fat extracts the THC and some of the CBD. And I cook that up for about 20 minutes, give or take. Oil's already activated, so you don't need to really cook it for too long. It's already positive for THC and not THA. And I can't remember the exact recipe. Just look up coconut macaroons on Google, and you can probably find it. It's a non-bake recipe. I lived in a boarding house at the time, so I couldn't really bake anything without the whole building stinking. It stunk bad enough making the milk. But I did all that. I put it together, and I made about 12 macaroons, and they were huge. Oh, also, I had a bit of keef that I decarboxylated. I put in the oven for about 120 degrees Celsius for about an hour, and that activates it. So after the macaroons were all made, I rolled it in this keef. And on top of that, I had like this spray, like a cannabis spray, which was 50 milligrams of THC and CBD. And I sprayed each of the macaroons with this, right? All together, we're probably looking at, probably about 3,000 milligrams of THC that I put into 12 brownies, 12 cookies. Probably a little more, actually. Which is a lot. It's quite a bit. I had a homeless friend. This guy became homeless because, like, there's a shortage of housing in my area, and he actually got evicted. So that's why I made these. I dropped them off to him, and I go home and I eat a couple myself. And let me tell you, I am like out of it. I can barely move my arms. Like, I'm like glued to the couch. I basically can't move. It was almost uncomfortable how high I was. But yeah, I gave him the edible, and this guy got a pretty high tolerance, honestly. So did I at the time. And I come back around 2 hours later, and he's passed out cold. I cannot wake him up. So he also handed a couple off to one of his friends, and all positive reviews, you know. They tasted delicious, and yeah, they were very, very potent. Very potent. So that's the best edibles I ever made. Like, time was going by really, really slowly. It took basically all I could do to get up and walk, honestly. Yeah, so that's how I made the strongest edibles and had a smoke. I'm honestly considering stopping YouTube because subscriber count is not very high. My videos just don't reach a lot of people. I feel like I make pretty entertaining content compared to a lot of people that have more subscribers than me. So, yeah, what are you waiting for? If you want to see more weed videos, let me know. Yeah, that's basically it. Have a gorgeous, beautiful, magnificent ass day. Peace and love, everybody.
Stop recording.